With me is the Singaporean High Commissioner. So welcome to WION. My first question to you is the obvious question about the relationship. How do you see the relationship going forward, especially in the backdrop of Prime Minister's that very important visit to your country, coming after a gap of over 5 years. The last visit was in 2018, and now Prime Minister again traveled to Singapore very early in his third term.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Sidhant, and also viewers from WION, because of your full coverage of Prime Minister Modi ji's visit to Singapore. Many people across India and Singapore gets to know the spur in that relationship between the two countries. In particular, I think the upgrading of relationship ahead of our 60th anniversary into a comprehensive strategic partnership. That visit by Prime Minister Modi ji has set the bar very high for our bilateral relationship, and we have looked into several new areas, in fact 6 new areas of collaboration with India, and I feel very, very confident that this new turbo boosting of that relationship can continue.
One of the key outcomes was the Semiconductor Pact, much talked about pact. How is this Semiconductor Pact going to help India with the Singaporean know-how?
We feel very, very strongly about India's push for a semiconductor supply chain, and we feel the willingness at all levels, at the union level and also at the state level, to push through this ambition. Singapore represents 10% of all chip making exports of the world, and we have 20% of the market on chip making equipment. We feel that even as a small country, we can work very, very closely with India on its semiconductor journey, because this journey is not a 1-2 year process. It's going to be a long drawn 10-year process to grow. And in order for India to grow with fewer impediments, we feel that Singapore can collaborate and partake in it.
So what next for the relationship? We know next year, 60th year of relationship will be celebrated. We do expect high-level visits. And any other areas of focus, whether it's connectivity, people-to-people relationship, if you can give a general overview?
I think what we want to do for next year during the 60th anniversary is to look beyond, first, to look beyond our concentration of investment in the southern states. The southern states are very, very welcoming of Singapore investment, and we are very familiar with them. We want to take opportunity of 60th anniversary to look at new areas of growth. I want to quote India's G20 Sherpa, Mr. Amitabh Khan. He said that India needs 10 states as an engine of growth. In my view, 10 is really critical mass. And we want to look at new areas like UP, we want to look at Odisha, we want to look at MP, Madhya Pradesh, and I think increasingly we see the willingness of Rajasthan to engage us. So all these 4 states, we want to do some form of engagement and understanding by next year. And also next year, I would like to see more green energy ports and facilities to be put online. Now we have one in Tuticorin. We are looking at 2-3 other ports. We hope that it can be lined up by next year.
India hasn't joined RCEP. What is your position? And we know during the Prime Minister's visit, many big-ticket investments were announced. So what is the ballpoint figure when it comes to Singaporean investments you're looking in India in next few years?
Of course, for Singapore, who is very, very trade-based, and we like FTAs, both sub-regional or bilateral, we always have high hopes for India to join RCEP, but we fully understand where India is coming from. We are most willing to wait for India to reconsider RCEP, but at the same time, India is looking at other FTAs like with the GCC, which is really a good thing for India. That's one. Number two, I think big ticket investments coming up. Prime Minister Modi ji, in his roundtable with 18 of our key Singapore businesses, is kind of pleasantly surprised when all of them basically told Prime Minister Modi ji that they will double or triple their investments in India in the next 3 to 5 years. So if I look at the figures, we, on an average, we do 15 billion US dollars a year of investment here. If I double or triple it, it will be very, very close to 45 billion to 50 billion dollars. So I hope we are successful in pushing this investment.
So my last question to you is international affairs, India-China relationship. What's your view? Because Singapore has good relationship with both India and China, and we recently saw the Quad summit as well. What is your sense on the Quad?
My own view as a small country is that big countries should collaborate and have good relationship with each other. So as friends of both China and India, we want to see a better relationship between the two big neighbors of us. And I feel that there are already some green shoots coming up in the discussion. There are high-level discussion between China and India. Hopefully, there's going to be the top-level discussion coming up soon. And I hope some of these pain points can be resolved diplomatically.
And Quad, your sense, sir?
My sense of Quad is a work in process, and I think many of the Quad countries are looking ahead at security collaboration, security views linking the Indo-Pacific area. We welcome that as a sub-regional kind of a forum to talk about things. For me, for Singapore, my central point of gravity is always ASEAN. And we feel that ASEAN as the centrality